give me 5 minutes of your time and I will share something about life, God, and the Bible. God calls us to listen. We are to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. James 1 verse 19. Yet God also calls us to discern the voice of Jesus in all the voices that we hear. Here is a story from Wayne. Recently, Wayne has found it difficult to hear. Eventually, Wayne decides to use hearing aids. He shares his story in a daily devotional based on John 10:27. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me. I can't hear you. Speak louder. These requests directed to my wife were becoming more frequent. Eventually, I had to admit that I was hard of hearing. Hearing aids have helped, but in social settings, I struggle to distinguish the voice of the person in front of me from others in the room. Fortunately, my hearing aids are equipped with a setting that allows me to tune out surrounding sounds so I can focus on the person I want to hear. Similarly, the noise of voices, both internal and external, that vie for our attention can distract us from hearing God's voice. It is easy to rush through our Bible reading without taking the time to still our restlessness and ponder the truth of the message. Despite the voices that compete for our attention, if we quiet ourselves and listen, we will hear God speaking. John 10 verse 27 reminds us to listen to Jesus, who is the good shepherd. Jesus knows and loves us and wants us to hear what he has to say. Are we listening? When we step back from the noise and activity of our busy lives, we can listen humbly and quietly for God's guidance. Jenny has a son who is an elementary school basketball coach. She says that just as her son coaches his students for basketball, we too can coach ourselves to listen for the voice of our shepherd. Go team, set up, slow down, rebound. Good job. This is the voice of coaches on basketball courts around the world. For the past few years, my son has coached an elementary school basketball team. As he coaches, he constantly guides his team from the sidelines. When the players come off the court for breaks, my son draws them into a circle to give instructions. When they go back on the court, my son's voice can be heard clearly, offering instruction and encouragement. As I watch, I'm struck by how the team can distinguish his voice from the many other voices in the gym. This reminds me of John 10 verse 27. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me. There is so much noise and distraction in our world. How can we distinguish Jesus' voice from everything else? As Christ's disciples, we can come to know his voice in many ways. Through stillness, prayer, and Bible study, by listening to our conscience and the words of other faithful people, and through worship experiences, music, and gratitude. With persistence and perseverance, we can discern Christ's voice from the noise of the world. We can come to know his voice in many ways, through stillness, prayer, and Bible study, by listening to our conscience and the words of other faithful people, and through worship experiences, music, and gratitude. So here we see the two ways for us to discern the voice of Jesus: the personal dimension and the social dimension. First, the personal dimension. We spend time personally by ourselves through stillness, prayer, and Bible study. Second, there is the social dimension. We listen to fellow Christians among us and participate in our Sunday worship experiences. May we discern the voice of Jesus in our lives. Amen.